everyone. Welcome to Vacation Bible School at Home. We're so glad to have you join us today. We are looking forward to having some fun together as we learn and grow in the knowledge of Christ. Our program is designed for children going into grade 1 and up to grade 6. Anyone can watch, but our crafts, stories, songs, and games are aimed at middle-aged children. Oh, and you should know we are going to be making a craft today. So if you don't have your craft kit yet, it's not too late to get one. Just ask an adult to contact us at this email address, and we'll send you everything you'll need to work along with us and make something fun. Make sure you're watching for FunCat today. He could appear at any time through our program. He looks like this, and he will be holding something in his hand. He will only appear for a few moments, and you will have no trouble spotting him. But when you do, email us at this address, and we will enter your name in a draw. One email will be randomly chosen each day to win a prize. It could be you, but you'll have to email us before noon today to enter the contest. Welcome to Day 4. We're so glad you're here. Today we're going to get it right.
Oh, yeah.
No, we're going to do our verse today.
Oh, just like yesterday.
And today we're going to get it.
We did it yesterday.
No, we tried yesterday, but you haven't helped us to get the verse right yet. So
Yeah, I did.
okay, look, I'm not going to argue with you. Let's do today's verses. 1 John 4:13.
What?
1 John. John wrote 4 books in the New Testament, and one of them is called 1 John.
Okay.
Yes, and in chapter 4, verse 13,
What's it say?
the first part of it, it says this: we know that we live in God.
Oh, that's easy.
Okay, well, try that part. We know that we live in God.
In snow, you can go and jog.
No, wait, that's not how that goes.
What?
Yes, the verse is telling us and reminding us that as the Lord Jesus comes and lives in our heart, we actually are found in God. It sounds like strange language.
Yeah.
We know that we live in God.
Your head is really odd.
No, it isn't.
Yeah, it is.
No, I mean, that's not how the verse goes.
It's square.
No, Elliot, my head is not square.
Yeah, it is.
Elliot, stop telling people my head is square.
Oh, is it a secret?
Okay, no, it's not a secret.
Well, then I can tell them.
Okay, no, we're doing a verse right now.
We are?
Yes, we're trying to help the children to hear the verse a few times and get to know how it goes. You don't seem to help them.
Yeah, I am.
Okay, let's do the second part. It goes, and God lives in us.
You should eat dust.
No, Elliot.
Yeah, I don't think so either. That's not good. You'd be like, you'd need a drink.
Okay, wait, no one's eating dust.
Well, that's what you said.
No, it's not what I said. It's, we know that we live in God and God lives in us. That's the first part.
Okay.
Yes, the last part says this: we know this. Just 3 words. Can you do that? We know this.
You throw a kiss.
No, I don't throw a kiss.
Why not?
Okay, because that's not how the verse goes.
But that's what you said.
Okay, stop. We know this because he gave us his Spirit. It's a little bit longer. Try that. Because he gave us his Spirit.
What?
Yes, just try it. because he gave us his Spirit.
The chicken will not go near it.
No, Elliot, I didn't say anything about a chicken.
Is it a dog?
No, Elliot, it's not a dog.
A cat?
Okay, stop. It's not any animal.
What is it?
Listen to the verse. It goes like this. Because he gave us his Spirit.
Oh!
Can you do that?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, do it. Because he gave us his Spirit.
Because he lives in a carrot.
No, Elliot, nobody lives in a carrot.
Well, then why did you say that?
Okay, I didn't. The verse says this, 1 John 4:13. We know that we live in God, and God lives in us. We know this because he gave us his Spirit.
Oh, that was so easy. You should do a hard one.
Okay, thanks, Elliot.
No worries.
Let's see if you can learn today's verse. 1 John 4:13. We know that we live in God, and God lives in us. We know this because he gave us his Spirit. Repeat after me. We know that we live in God, and God lives in us. We know this because he gave us his Spirit. Very good. Let's try it again. We know that we live in God, and God lives in us. We know this because he gave us his Spirit. Well done. Let's try it this way. We know that we live in God, and God lives in us. We know this because he gave us his Spirit. Well done. Let's play a game. I'm going to say the first word, you're going to say the second word, I'll say the third word, and we'll go back and forth through the verse. Here we go. I'll start. We that live God, God in, we this, he, us, Spirit. First, for, well done. Let's do that again, this time a little bit faster. I'll start. We that live God, God in, we this, he, us, Spirit. First, for, well done. Let's read it together. We know that we live in God, and God lives in us. We know this because he gave us his Spirit. 1 John 4:13. Well done.
My God is so big and so strong and so mighty, there's nothing my God cannot do. My God is so big and so strong and so mighty, there's nothing my God cannot do. My God is so big and so strong and so mighty, there's nothing my God cannot do. My God is so big and so strong and so mighty, there's nothing my God cannot do. In the beginning, God made everything. God simply spoke and the world came to be. He sent a flood and made everything new. He parted the sea, let his people walk through. He helped a boy bring a giant right down. Joshua marched, the walls fell to the ground. These acts of power are worthy of praise, but if you want to question my God and his ways,
I'll look you in the eye and say,
my God is so big and so strong and so mighty, there's nothing my God cannot do. My God is so big and so strong and so mighty, there's nothing my God cannot do. My God is so big and so strong and so mighty, there's nothing my God cannot do. My God is so big and so strong and so mighty, there's nothing my God cannot do.
you in the eye and say,
My God is so big and so strong and so mighty. There's nothing my God cannot do. My God is so big and so strong and so mighty. There's nothing my God cannot do. My God is so big and so strong and so mighty. There's nothing my God cannot do. My God is so big and so strong and so mighty. There's nothing my God cannot do.
It's time for Something Unusual.
Hey, let's try something unusual with your eyes. It's an optical illusion. Try staring at the black dot between these two circles. Try to relax your eyes and don't look around. Just stare at the black dot. Now you may have noticed a couple of larger circles on either side of the black dot. Don't look at them. Keep looking at the black dot. Just focus on the middle. In a few moments, the circles are going to disappear, and you are going to witness something strange. The circles are going to look like they switched places. The green circle on the left will appear to be on the right, and the pink circle on the right is about to appear on the left. Just keep looking at the dot in the middle. It's not time yet. Wait for it. Wait for it. Okay, it's almost time. Just keep looking at the dot in the middle. The illusion will only last for a few seconds, so try not to blink. Did it work? Could you see the colored circles? They are a bit fainter, but the circles appear to have switched places. But you see, the really interesting thing is, if you blink your eyes a few times, you will notice that there are no colored circles at all. In fact, there is no color other than gray. Your brain just thought it saw color, but there wasn't any. Hey, I tricked your brain. Let's try something else with your eyes, using a moving pattern. I'm going to get you to stare into the middle of this pattern. Just relax your eyes and try to stare. Try not to blink. Just keep staring. As you look at the center of this moving pattern, your brain is realizing that everything is moving away from you towards the edge of your screen. But in a few moments, I am going to get you to look away from your screen. Don't do it yet. This will work best if you find something to look at, maybe a bookshelf or a wall with a picture on it. It doesn't matter what it is. But in a few moments, when you look at the object, you will think you see it moving. It will look like it's shrinking. Your brain is going to reverse the motion of everything moving out and make you see things moving in. Now, get ready. It's almost time to look away from your screen. Find something to look at when I count to 3. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Did it work? What did you think of that, Elliot?
Oh, it was cool. Things were going like, ooh, they were going shrinking.
Yes, Elliot, that's because your brain was fooled to think that everything was moving in one direction, and as soon as it stopped, your eyes were told that everything was going in the opposite direction.
Oh, I nearly like,
Well, Elliot, I'm glad you didn't. Well, our hearts can do the same thing.
What?
Yes, sometimes our hearts can be fooled. We think we're doing right when we're actually doing wrong and sinning against God.
Seriously.
Yeah, sometimes our hearts can't be trusted. That's why we need God to tell us what's right and what's wrong, not our own ideas, because they can be fooled. And that's why we need the Lord Jesus to forgive us when we go our own way.
Oh, good to know.
Hi everyone. I'm so glad you could join us for Pinegrove's online VBS. With all that's going on in the world today, I'm sure that you are finding life difficult and maybe a bit scary. Schools are closed. You can't play with your friends or visit your family members. I've been thinking about this a lot. So I thought we should talk about the fact that God is always with us, especially during the hard and difficult times. Many stories and verses from the Bible tell us so. Our stories this week are from the book of Daniel, and boy, oh boy, did he and his friends ever have some tough times. We sure hope that you enjoy hearing God's Word. Listen carefully to the stories, as there's going to be a quiz. Today's story is from Daniel chapter 5. And it is called The Writing on the Wall. After King Nebuchadnezzar died, his grandson Belshazzar became king. Belshazzar must have known what had happened to his grandfather, how he had lived as an animal for 7 years because he didn't honor God. Even so, Belshazzar still chose to have a proud heart and worship idols and false gods. King Belshazzar gave a big party for 1,000 of his nobles, and before long it became very wild. While Belshazzar was drinking his wine, he gave orders that the gold and silver cups that had been taken from the temple of God in Jerusalem should be brought so that they could drink from them. He insulted the God of heaven and praised their false gods. Suddenly, the fingers of a human hand appeared and wrote on the wall near the lampstand. The king watched the hand as it wrote. His face turned pale, and he was so frightened that his legs became weak and his knees were knocking. The king called for the wise men. He said, "Whoever reads this writing and tells me what it means will be clothed in purple and have a gold chain placed around his neck, and he will be made the third highest ruler in the kingdom." The wise men hurried in, but they couldn't understand the words that were written on the wall. Belshazzar became even more terrified, and his face grew even paler than it was. The queen reminded Belshazzar that there was a wise man in the kingdom who had the spirit of the holy God in him, and who could interpret dreams and visions. So the king called for Daniel and told him that if he could tell him what the writing on the wall meant, he would be greatly rewarded. Daniel told the king that he could keep his gifts for himself and give the reward to someone else, but that he would tell the king the meaning of the writing on the wall. He reminded the king that the Most High God, not the fake gods, had made his grandfather Nebuchadnezzar and the kingdom of Babylon great, wealthy, and powerful, and that God is over all the kingdoms on earth and sets over them anyone he wishes. Daniel said, "You, Belshazzar, have not humbled yourself, though you knew all this. Instead, you turned against the Most High God. You and your nobles drank wine from the cups brought from the temple of God, and you praised false gods. But you did not honor the God who holds your life in his hand." This is what the writing says. Many, many tekel parsin. Here is what these words mean. Many. God has brought the days of your reign to an end. Tekel. God has weighed the king's character, and it has been found wanting. Parsin. Your kingdom will be given to the Medes and the Persians. At Belshazzar's command, Daniel was clothed in purple, given a gold chain, and he was proclaimed the third highest ruler in the kingdom. That very night, the Medes and the Persians found a way into the city, and Belshazzar was killed. Darius the Mede took over the kingdom at the age of 62. By now, Daniel was an old man, but he was the wisest man in the kingdom, and the new king, Darius, chose Daniel to be one of the governors over the kingdom. Daniel served under many kings, and God had given him much wisdom, understanding, and the ability to interpret dreams, visions, and to solve difficult problems. God was with Daniel throughout his entire life. 1 John 4:13 says, "We know that we live in God, and God lives in us. We know this because he gave us his Spirit."
Come all you weary, come all you thirsty, come to the well that never runs dry. Drink of the water, come and thirst no more. Come all you sinners, come find his mercy, come to the table, he will satisfy. Taste of his goodness, find what you're looking for. For God so loved the world that he gave us his one and only Son to save us. Whoever believes in him will live forever. Come all you weary, come all you thirsty, come to the well that never runs dry. Drink of the water, come and thirst no more. Come all you sinners, come find his mercy, come to the table, he will satisfy. Taste of his goodness, find what you're looking for. For God so loved the world that he gave us his one and only Son to save us. Whoever believes in him will live forever. For God so loved the world that he gave us his one and only Son to save us. Whoever believes in him will live forever. The power of hell forever defeated. Now it is well. I'm walking in freedom. For God so loved the world. God so loved the
Hello again. Today we're going to make a tambourine, and the reason I chose that craft is because I came across a YouTube video that had a fun song on it, and it lends itself to shaking a tambourine. So I thought you might enjoy using it at home, and your parents will get the link to that song on the bottom here of this page, and they can look that up on their computer, and at the top of that is the star that you can put on your tambourine with a scripture verse that says, "Make a joyful noise to the Lord." So let's get started. Now you're going to have these two plates, so you can put them together, and I think the easiest thing to do would be to paint them first, or use magic markers if you don't have paint. I painted mine, and I used acrylic paint, which works very well. So if you're able to pick some of that up and you have an appropriate brush to use, that would be great. But anyway, I think it would be good to do that first.
Quick explanation. When you get your plates, look for the two black dots. When you are putting the plates together, make sure the black dots are touching each other.
And then you're going to take your little pieces of pipe cleaner, one at a time, and you're going to punch it through the holes, and then you will attach this bell. And sometimes it goes on right away and sometimes it doesn't, but it's not very hard to do. So just poke it through, and then when you attach it, try to make it really close to the edge of the plates, and then you won't have to glue the plates together. They'll be held tightly in place, and so that should work just fine. So just get them in position there. So you're going to get 5 bells and 5 little sections of pipe cleaner to do, and that doesn't take too long. So now you should have it colored some way, paint or magic markers, whatever way you want to do it to make it look pretty. And now you're going to decorate it. So in your package, you are going to get this paper that I mentioned. And so now you can cut out the star. It has a scripture verse on it. And then you can just glue that to the top of your paper plates, like that. And then you can put your decorations around, and you're going to get included in your package different things. In this one package, you're going to get 5 frogs, and you're going to get some hearts and little flowers, and so whatever, there's peeling tape on the back. You just pull that off, and then they'll adhere right to the plate. So that's easy. So if you don't want to use what's included in your package, maybe you've got some wrapping paper like I did at home, which had pretty flowers on it, and I went around and cut each one of those out and then pasted those around the star. But whatever, you can do stickers. You might have some stickers come in your package, and you can stick those all around wherever you want, just to make it pretty. So now, when that's all done, then you're ready to use your tambourine. And you will really enjoy this YouTube video. It is so cute. It's all down here for your parents to find on the computer. And I really enjoyed listening to it.
Are you ready, Elliot?
Oh, we're racing?
No, I didn't say we're racing.
Where are we going?
Well, we're not going anywhere. We're going to play our game again.
What game?
You know the game where I show you something?
Oh, no.
Okay, well, I'm going to show you an object,
Yeah?
and then you're going to guess what it is.
Oh, we did this.
Yes, and see if the kids at home can guess it faster than you.
Oh, they can't.
Well, I think they've done pretty well so far this week.
Are you serious?
Yes, see if you can do this again today.
Okay. This is easy.
Okay, Elliot, what do you think it is?
I don't know. Is it the sky?
Nope, it's not the sky.
It's a cloud.
Nope, it's not the cloud.
It's a sky in a cloud.
Nope, it's not the sky in a cloud.
I don't know.
Keep looking.
Oh, wait. I think I know.
You think you know?
Yeah.
What is it?
I don't know.
Well, keep looking.
I think I don't know what it is.
I wonder if the kids at home know what it is.
Yeah. Oh, wait a second. That looks familiar.
You've seen it before?
Oh, yeah. I think you can eat it.
Well, actually, you can eat it.
Oh, it's your teeth. You can eat your teeth.
Nope, it's not your teeth, Elliot.
Are you sure?
Take a look. Tell me what it is.
Oh, wait a second. Oh, it's that stuff.
What stuff?
Oh, it's like, and then it goes boo, 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 and then you eat it. Oh, it's called popcorn.
Well, it's not called popcorn. It's just called popcorn.
I knew it.
I wonder if the kids guessed it before you did.
I doubt it.
Hey, Elliot, here's another one.
What is it?
Well, you tell me.
Oh, I have no idea. Is it a disease?
Nope, it's not a disease.
Oh, it looks like one. It looks like a hat.
It's not a hat, Elliot.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Oh, it's the moon.
Nope, it's not the moon.
Oh, is it a pickle?
It's not a pickle.
Is it a tomato?
It's not a tomato.
Oh, I don't know. Is it square?
Well, does it look square?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, well, then you're in trouble.
Oh, it's really big. I think it's a big thing.
Well, tell me what big thing you think it is. I wonder if the children at home know what it is.
I think I know. Oh, wait, I got it.
What is it?
I don't know. Wait a second. I think I eat these.
Yep, it is something you eat.
Is it good?
It's very good.
Oh, and you put them in a bowl?
You can put them in a bowl.
And you put ice cream on it?
Well, you could put ice cream on it. Some people just put cream.
Oh, I think I know.
What is it?
It's a red berry.
No, it's not a red berry.
A yellow berry?
No, it's called a blueberry.
I knew it.
I wonder if the kids at home guessed it before you did. It's time for today's quiz. Grab a pencil and your answer page and circle the answer you think is correct. Okay, here we go. Who became king after Nebuchadnezzar died? His grandson Belshazzar, his granddaughter Beverly, or Daniel, who is known as Belteshazzar? The answer is A, his grandson Belshazzar. During his big party, Belshazzar gave an order. What was it? Bring out the party hats, bring out the best food, or bring out the gold and silver cups taken from the temple in Jerusalem? The answer is C, bring out the gold and silver cups taken from the temple in Jerusalem. What suddenly happened as they were drinking from the cups? Human toes danced across the wall, a human hand appeared and wrote on the wall, or a human head made funny faces on the wall? The answer is B, a human hand appeared and wrote on the wall. What did the king offer Daniel if he could interpret the writing on the wall? Daniel would be clothed in purple, have a gold chain, and be a ruler in the kingdom. Daniel would get a new boat, motor, and trailer. Or Daniel would be given a chest filled with gold and silver. The answer is A. Daniel would be clothed in purple, have a gold chain, and be a ruler in the kingdom. What reminder did Daniel give the king? That it wasn't nice to have a party and not invite him. That God had made Babylon wealthy and powerful, and that God is over all the kingdoms on the earth. That Daniel was tired and wanted to go home. The answer is B. God made Babylon wealthy and powerful, and God is over all the kingdoms on earth. What else did Daniel tell the king? The king hadn't honored God, who holds his life in his hand. The king was drinking too much and should really stop. Or the king should wash the cups and return them to the temple. The answer is A. The king hadn't honored God, who holds his life in his hand. What did the writing on the wall say? Many tekel many parson, tekel parson mene mene, or mene mene tekel parson. The answer is C. Mene mene tekel parson. What does the word mene mean? You are being mean. God has brought the days of your reign to an end, or we're having meat for dinner. The answer is B. God has brought the days of your reign to an end. What does tekel mean? God had judged the king's character, and it was found wanting. You are tickling me, or money cannot buy happiness. The answer is A. God had judged the king's character, and it has been found wanting. What does the word parson mean? I don't want parsnips for dinner. Your kingdom might be ruled by a new person, or your kingdom will be given to the Medes and Persians. The answer is C. Your kingdom will be given to the Medes and Persians. How well did you do? Now remember that Reggie was down in a cave in Aunt Lorene's backyard. It had been discovered when the well digger punctured a hole in her backyard and opened up a great cavern underneath. Nobody knew it was there. And when Reggie found a second room, he knew something wasn't right. It was filled with camping equipment. It looked as if somebody was living here. Reggie had found the suitcase filled with money and was on his way to the surface. He had tied it to the rope that he was climbing when Reggie felt something on his foot. And Reggie knew this was serious. Meanwhile, Lena was at the library. She was checking out some books when she noticed something. It caught her eye. The newspaper. She never read the newspaper, but this one, the headlines said something that she thought looked very important. She pulled the newspaper toward her and could hardly believe what the newspaper said. There, emblazoned on the front page, 2 words, funny money. She figured it had to be something to do with the money that Reggie had said he'd found on the bottom of his shoe that Aunt Lorene had declared to be counterfeit. She read the entire article and she found out that there had been discovered counterfeit money all through the area. Many of the stores and merchants had been complaining. A big investigation was underway. Lena wasn't sure what to think. All she knew was that Reggie had better not go back down into that hole. She ran straight home. She ran straight home and ran straight to the treehouse to find Reggie. He wasn't there. She looked around the yard. That's when she saw the rope dangling down into the hole. She didn't see him. She ran into the house and she started to yell, "Reggie!" But there was no answer. Now, in case you're overly concerned for Reggie and a little bit worried, I need to let you in on a piece of information that I haven't told you. When Aunt Lorene discovered that the ink came off the $20 bill that Reggie had found on his shoe, well, of course, she called the police. She had spent time, a long time, on the phone. She discovered then what Lena discovered at the library. A lot of people had been reporting counterfeit money, and the police informed her that they would come over and interview her. They hadn't arrived yet, and she wasn't sure when to expect them. That's why she was hanging around the house. But Lena didn't know that. All she knew was her brother was missing. She ran back to the hole and tried to listen for Reggie. "Oh, Reggie, what have you done?" she thought. And that's when Lena heard the sound. It was a gentle thumping noise, but it went boom, 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 boom. Lena recognized it right away. That was Reggie's secret knock. But he would only do that if he was trying to communicate something to Lena. What was going on? She called his name, but she didn't hear a thing. She thought she had no other choice, and she carefully, slowly slid down the rope, and Lena went down into the hole. That's when she heard the knocking even louder. Boom, 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 boom. That pattern, that had to be Reggie's knock. Boom, 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 boom. But where was he? She couldn't see him anywhere. And as her eyes began to adjust to the dimness of the cave, that's when she realized she could see it looked like some sort of a fissure in the wall, like another doorway. She came to the craggy entrance and stuck her head close to it. The thumping was louder. She carefully, slowly, cautiously began down the little stone hallway that led to the room where Reggie was. She came to the room, and there was Reggie. It looked like Reggie had been tied up, and he couldn't yell, and he was thumping on his chair. He was holding onto it with both hands, and he was bouncing up and down with his chair. Boom, 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 boom. Then he noticed Lena. Now, I want to pause here and remind you that there is a moral to this story. Things are not always as they appear. Reggie and Lena had discovered that when Aunt Lorene announced that the $20 bill that Reggie had found was counterfeit. It wasn't real. It only looked real. Jesus spoke some verses that remind us that, in fact, that can happen in people's lives as well. Matthew 7, "Can you pick grapes from a thorn bush? A good tree produces good fruit, and a bad tree produces bad fruit. Just as you can identify a tree by its fruit, so you can identify people by their actions." Some people claim to know Jesus, but their actions give away that they don't know him at all. Jesus comes into a person's heart and changes them. And if they've never had him come in and give new life to them, they don't really know him. And so really, on the outside, they might say that they're Christians, and they might say that they follow Jesus, but their actions and their heart show that they don't. Jesus gave us this warning because it's easy for us, even for us, to be fooled. We must be sure that we know Jesus and that he is living in our hearts. Maybe you would profess to know Jesus as your Savior. I'm pleased to hear that. But we would need to see the fruit of that in our lives before we would really know for sure. We all want to see our actions and our outward attitudes reflect Jesus in every way. Reggie certainly wasn't doing that. He was being entirely disobedient to Aunt Lorene by even going down into that hole in the first place. And now he found himself in serious trouble. Lena's eyes started to adjust to the darkness when she saw her brother. And there he was, tied to a chair, thumping up and down, trying to get some help. Lena wasted no time running straight over to him. She knelt down behind him and started to fiddle with the ropes. And that's when Lena realized she had a problem. She felt something on her shoulder. She tried to brush it off, and then when she felt it, her eyes got really big. She felt a hand. She turned around slowly, and there in front of her was a not-so-friendly face who said in a very friendly voice, "Oh, I see I have another visitor." And tomorrow, I'll tell you what happens to Reggie and Lena. Hey, Elliot, are you ready to say goodbye?
Oh, where are you going?
Well, I'm not going anywhere, but it's the end of our Vacation Bible School for today.
Oh, that's exciting.
And we hope the kids will join us again tomorrow.
Do you know what tomorrow is?
Tomorrow is day 5. It's our last day of Vacation Bible School for the week.
Oh, nope. It is wear a garbage can on your head day.
No, Elliot, it is not wear a garbage can on your head day.
It is.
Nope. So we hope everyone can join us tomorrow. We'll have another Bible story and another Bible verse.
With a garbage can on your head.
No, you don't have to wear a garbage can.
Yeah, you do.
No, we'll see you tomorrow.
With a garbage can
No, goodbye, everyone.
on your head.